On today's episode of Don't Date That Crazy Woman, we have a feminist melting down on the Whatever podcast as she finds out that men prefer to date younger women versus older women. Of course, this is a tale old as time, based in common sense that younger women are prettier, less mentally damaged, less ran through, and they are better at having children and recovering. Women don't want to admit this, right? Because they don't live in reality, especially these modern women on the Whatever podcast. Let's jump into it and watch how the red flags jump out. So when you see a girl like this, the number one thing you do is run and never date her.
Absolutely, I agree with that, but also that's a hypothetical. Majority of women are delusional when it comes to men's perspective on women, especially younger women. I'm not saying the variety, but I'm saying the majority of women are delusional when it comes to men's worldview on women.
Well, I just wouldn't. So if there's a disagreement of worldview, but she's otherwise good looking and like younger, if it's such a, like, I don't think I could, like, I wouldn't date a feminist. Okay. So yeah, if there's a difference in worldview, I wouldn't date that particular younger woman. But
let's be honest, no self-respecting man wakes up in the morning and says, yeah, I want to date a feminist because I feel like destroying everything I've worked for. No.
If she matches my worldview and she's like 23 or whatever, you might say, wow, that's a big age gap, Brian.
Yeah, I understand that.
If I otherwise find her attractive and I feel like it's a good fit and she wants to date me,
I mean, younger women have higher sexual market value, so I understand that reasoning for why you would date a younger woman, but majority of younger women don't have that worldview. So if her looks were at, top tier, but her worldview and her morals were, below or lower tier, would you still date her?
I mean, my preference would ideally to be when I meet somebody that she has, look, I think you're not going to agree on every single thing, but maybe we're aiming for 80-90% agreement on certain things, and then I think I can make a compelling I could perhaps influence her perspectives on things. Maybe look, I don't think it immediately has to be a deal breaker if a woman is just like, I think some people are brainwashed and they have to be unplugged and woken up. So it's like, okay, a woman might have a perspective. Now, look, if she's steadfast in it and she's like, Brian, I don't care, I'm never changing my opinion, I'm on to the next one. But if she seems open-minded and maybe a lot of people, when you talk about politics with somebody, a lot of people have very, very superficial, shallow understanding of things.
And the reality is this too: no man wants to date a woman who's hyper obsessed with politics, because if you get in a relationship with this type of woman, they are never happy people. They're always angry about some pseudo injustice that doesn't affect them. And do you really want to be with a woman day in and day out who all day she just wakes up, checks social media, and she's angry all the time? You don't want that. That's not something you want in your life. Ideally, you want a woman who brings peace to your life, a woman who brings you comfort, a woman who lowers your stress levels, not raises them. So women who are obsessed with politics, not only are they undateable, but as we've been seeing with situations like Lauren Southern, a lot of these chicks are really big 304s on the down low. So be careful when you're choosing a woman, because that kind of woman is no good whatsoever. Brian's right here.
So like a 22, 23, 24-year-old woman, she might have a perspective that is like the mainstream narrative that she could perhaps change. Now, would it be my preference that she's just already based to begin with? Yes. But I think there can be a degree of like, oh, have you thought about this perspective?
Molding.
Why do you think that? Not molding necessarily.
In a good way, I'm talking.
So would you compromise your morals for a good-looking hot chick?
What do you mean by compromise my morals?
The answer immediately should be no, right? Because if you compromise your frame and you compromise your morals to get a woman, eventually she's going to discover who you really are, and she's going to realize that you're faking it, and she's not going to be attracted to you because she knows you're just being a weasel, right? You should never sell yourself out just for the sake of getting a woman into bed or into a relationship, because ultimately you're building the foundation of the relationship on lies. And you, as the man, have to be the leader of the relationship. You're the protector and provider. And you can't be doing those kind of things built from a place of distrust and being dishonest and not having honesty as the foundation of your relationship. Because anything built on a house of lies is going to collapse. The only thing that keeps lies going are more lies.
So say if she's a liberal that believes in, feminist rights, not to the extent that you would say that is, excessive, but she's a feminist to an extent. But would you compromise your morals in a way that she thinks, okay, women should have X, Y, and Z, and women should be entitled to X, Y, and Z, men should pay off for the first date, but, she believes that, men should have a certain outlook on life. Would you compromise your morals for that?
Probably not, truthfully.
Okay. So your dating pool is,
well, hold on. Let me finish the
secluded
thought.
to a certain.
Well, let me finish
the
the thought
type.
there. I mean, I think that there are many fish in the pond. So this idea, like, there's a lot of beautiful women, and not all of those beautiful women, but a good amount of them are going to have strong alignment or close alignment with my perspective. And I would choose from that pool of women. I don't feel like it's not some situation where, well, only the liberal women are really hot and all the more conservative or trad women are just ugly.
Absolutely not.
So I would just pick from within the pool.
He prefers
now, if somebody
misogynists.
has, if perhaps somebody can, but I guess to get to the center of it, if she's a liberal feminist, no, she's good looking. No, I wouldn't date her.
Okay.
I wouldn't date her.
Fair enough. So the core is you wouldn't date a liberal, but you would date a conservative. What about if a conservative isn't high on if a man is a misogynist or not?
What she's what? She's a feminist, or what do you mean?
I wouldn't say she's a total feminist, but she does hold some feminist views. Would you still view with that? Because
Nope.
as you said previously, that you don't date feminists.
Hey, look.
Misogynist only.
Sometimes I look at a woman and
I love how this woman with tattoos on her breast is trying to intentionally shame Brian. Lady, you have tattoos on your breasts. Okay? You have no right to shame anybody. Stop drawing on yourself like you're a 9-year-old child.
I think I can fix her.
Yeah.
However, she's going to, I mean, look, I think through conversation, sometimes you can, and this could be it doesn't even have to be someone you're dating. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. You could perhaps, through your rhetoric and your ability, you could present to them a convincing argument that might make them change their position. They're like, I never thought of it that way. And in which case, then that's, it's not like an immediate necessary deal breaker. But again, I would say pick from the pool of people that are kind of already there. But if she's a feminist, depending on the severity, for me, I don't want to date a feminist.
So you
It's
would
a
date
threat to him.
you would date a feminist depending on severity.
And she has to be broke.
What
So
are you
if she's
digging?
like,
I'm
you
just
can control
curious.
her
What are you digging?
finances.
Hold on. What are you digging?
Now this idiot with the tattoos on her breast is saying she has to be broke so you can control her. Basically, all she's doing is projecting about her life and her life experiences, which are clearly driven by bad choices because she decided to get tattoos on both of her breasts. I really don't like these hood rat women because these are some of the worst women you could ever date. And I guarantee you this chick is single because, again, you look like an idiot. Stop drawing on yourself like you're like a 9-year-old kid and then making these little snide remarks and stuff. That just shows she's a hurt person. So this whole panel is being really good to look at home with yourself and see that these women are just very, very undateable, and I'm going to be pointing out some of these red flags so you don't make a decision that's detrimental to your life. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what you think. But do you think tattoos on boobs are hot? Because this is gross.
For? Like, are
I'm
you
digging for gold right now.
Like, I'm trying to see what you're doing. Are you trying to be like, gotcha, Brian, you would date a feminist?
No, I'm just interested.
Okay.
Because
So generally speaking, I would say, no, I would not date a feminist. Now, okay, like, it depends though. Like, what specifically are we talking about? Like, what?
It's such a
gender
broad
roles,
term.
paying on the first date,
What would that have to do with feminism? But
feminism is aligned with traditional moral values, you know, in a dating aspect.
Modern.
How many feminists have you seen on a first date object to the man paying for everything? The answer is zero, because feminism is a lie. It's a cope and it's a failure. And all the women who advocate for this, they're losers. Nobody wants to deal with them. Women themselves don't even want to be identified as feminists. It's a failure. So again, this chick is just, I mean, she's a British mud shark herself. I've seen her on the Fresh and Fit podcast, but she's clearly has nothing going on in her head but her search for black dick.
Feminism.
wait, no, feminism is not about traditional.
It's about
right.
dating. It's about voting.
What?
It's about what women are entitled to. Yes, it is about that.
No,
Absolutely,
they're
it's
all
about
about
that.
Just because you scream it louder doesn't mean
and
it's
you
true.
can
Of
sleep
course,
with whoever
but
you want.
I'm talking about
in
it.
addiction.
Yes, I understand that, but I'm talking about in a dating aspect.
It's not traditional at all.
I'm talking about in a dating aspect.
I remembered more of what I bring to the table. I'm highly decisive, very decisive, very much know what I want, very ambitious.
So
I'm
you
the
care
guy-
about ambitious women?
Well, no, wait, what? No.
You just
It just, again, like, this is just a textbook example of a woman that no one in her entire life said, hey, shut up. You are stupid. Everything coming out of your mouth is retarded. Can you please settle down and stop lowering the overall IQ in the room by babbling your British nonsense on this podcast room? It's insane to see this kind of stuff. But, you know, the reason she's like this is because no man has checked her. Remember, good women are made, and good women are made by men correcting their bad behavior. Because if you leave them uncorrected, voila, you have the modern situation right now that is hell for all men living in the Western world.
says that you do though.
No, I said what I bring to the table.
Oh,
I was
okay,
thinking
I
more
see.
about what I bring
I
to the
see.
table. Like, I'm never going to be in a situation where a woman is like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, and I don't know if some women care less or care more about this, is like you ask your boyfriend, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? He's like, I don't know, whatever you want, babe. Some women are fine with that. Some women dislike that. I know what I want to eat all the fucking time. I'm not, honestly, maybe I'm too far in the extreme. I'm not, sometimes I'm nice. Maybe like once a month, I might be like, what are you in the mood for? Otherwise, I'm like, this is what we're eating. We're eating this.
That's not bad.
So, I mean, I know what I want.
Okay.
I know what I want. Okay, there we
I
go.
wanted to interject something, though, here for everybody. As you're getting older, and Brian, you said a couple things that went right into place with this, is that you are going to change. Your ideas are going to change. Your thoughts are going to change. And things you desire are maybe going to change. So everything's adapting in life as you're going along. So there are some things that you will change.
That I'm going to change?
You could, yes.
Like what? Like I'm
Not
going to become
dramatically.
liberal?
Anything. You may get to be my age and be like, I don't have anybody I can date because I didn't find anybody yet. I don't know what it's going to.
You get to my age and you can't find anybody. You couldn't date. Listen, lady, you are clearly 50, and there are plenty of good men that came your way. It was just you were too arrogant with your ridiculous standards, most likely, and now you're 50 and alone and washed up on the whatever podcast. So, again, I'll be here to translate all the female cope for you guys so you get better with women. You can have a better, successful dating life.
Be. It could be anything.
Okay.
And definitely when it comes to dating, things like that, you might change some ideas that you have now in 10 years. It seems like there's a 10-year
I don't know.
turnaround for these type of
You could slightly
I
adjust certain
completely-
opinions, but not definitely
I mean,
completely
your dating
change your
pool
point of view.
reduces by 40, so
Yeah.
you have to be more inclusive to what you have around you. So if your
What a
standards
guy
are
No.
dating pool.
if your
disagree
standards
with
are
that.
exclusively high, you have
Disagree
to
with
kind of
that.
lower the bar to be able to actually have a partner or be able to have somebody that
anything.
you'd connect with by the age of
I don't
40.
think. Hold on.
100%
I think.
lowering
Wait, hold on. You do not have to compromise on your values.
I didn't say compromise.
Hold on, let me finish my thoughts before you keep interrupting. I'm
wasn't.
responding to her. She was saying that, you know, as you get older, and it is true, as you get older, your dating prospects, your dating pool does tend to shrink. The quality of your potential partners tends to decrease over time. There is some discrepancy between men and women on this, a little bit, but yes, over time, you know, if you're a man at 50 and you're a woman at 50, like,
yeah,
it just gets like, even in my 30s,
Yeah.
like, yes, the dating pool, like, of the people kind of in your age group,
For women,
like
more.
the keepers got kept. So
The milk has gone sour, and nobody wants to drink the old milk of old women. That's the truth.
yeah, like getting into your 30s gets a little harder. Getting into your 40s gets a little harder. As you get older, yes. So that is the case.
Your
And then,
sexual market value decreases.
correct.
Well, guys, as you can see, that's a lot of red flags in one video. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment.